Now entered into Tony Tone's world. The Tony Tone's world.
Turn on whatever video you have hiding back there.
How do you know I have a video behind? I'm not hiding anything, brother.
Anytime you hide your camera, it was on and then you took it off. You're hiding something. There you go. What in the hell is that supposed to be?
You know how people be wearing those bags over their heads? This season is how I feel.
See, you put a hole in a brown paper bag. Is that an Aldo bag? Is that what that is?
Aldi. Shout out to Aldi. Shout out to Aldi, one of the best grocery stores around.
That's hilarious.
No, but fuck it. This fucking Bears.
Wait, hold on. Put the mask back on.
No, fuck you. This Bears this last game was shit. Just bullshit. I mean, they couldn't get anything going. It was horrible. I fell asleep in the third quarter because I just couldn't watch it anymore. I was just pissed off. I was sad, mad, angry. But news did come out that they fired that. What's his name? Shane Aldrin or whatever his damn name is. Shane Waldron. Long overdue. I mean, there's clips of him on the sideline, like laughing or some shit or smiling next to Caleb Williams during the game and shit like that. Another assistant coach that Eberflus has hired that's just hasn't lived up to the hype and shit. And I don't know, this intern coach that's coming in, this Tim Brown or whatever his name is. He came from the Panthers apparently. Don't really have high hopes for him either. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, he's a coach already on the team, right? Isn't he?
Yeah, he's a receivers coach.
Yeah. He was the receivers coach. They brought him in. He was the offensive coordinator, I believe, for the Panthers with their rookie quarterback. Obviously, you know.
Bro, why is Caleb Williams in the fucking game at the end of the game? Like the whole, I would even say the whole fourth quarter. Like, why is he even in the fucking game? Like, the last 2 minutes, last minute, why is he even in the game, taking damage? It makes no fucking sense. He just keeps getting hit. They couldn't do anything. Granted, also, he, for whatever reason, rather take a sack than throw away the ball. Or, I don't know. It's just like he would either hold the ball too long. I mean, you got to give our receivers some sort of ball just to give them a little bit of give them a ball and let them make the play. I don't know. It was just over and over, whether he was getting sacked, just 3 and out. It was just the worst. It was horrible.
It's like he's too afraid to make a mistake, so he's not throwing balls that he probably should be to give his wide receivers a chance. It's like he hasn't learned where they're capable yet, or the trust. Like, they don't have the trust between them for him to throw up balls and just give him a chance to make a play. Like, you have very good wide receivers. You have a proven Keenan Allen, a proven DJ Moore. Like, Odunze is a young kid who will probably make some crazy catches if you give him the chance. You need to throw up the ball. Just, if it's not working, hell, just do it.
Yeah. I mean, Odunze had over 100 yards that game, but still, yeah. I agree with you. Like, the guy was just, Justin Fields, I think it was earlier this year, he had mentioned about what the Bears could do. And then basically he was like, just make it less complicated, that he's overthinking while he's back there. And maybe Caleb Williams is doing the same fucking thing.
So I read something that their primary goal with bringing on Waldron as offensive coordinator was to have an offensive coordinator that was like key on communication, right? So that's one of the key things why you ended up going with Waldron. But I want to give you some of the names that they passed over that they interviewed last year. First is Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury is now with the Commanders. Zach Robinson, who's currently OC for the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
Clint Kubiak, who's with the Saints. Liam Cohen, who's with the Bucks, and Greg Roman with the Chargers. I'm pretty sure that every single one of those have a better offense and better record, with the exception of maybe the Saints,
Yeah.
than what you guys are doing right now.
Yeah, I think everybody that you named, I would say everybody besides the Saints, just
Right.
because.
And then you have Cliff Kingsbury, who literally worked with Caleb Williams at USC.
Right.
He had a relationship. He understands the kid. You have that and an opportunity to help groom him underneath the Bears. And maybe that was like a power thing that Eberflus didn't want to have a struggle with coaching. That's the only thing I can think of with not bringing on Cliff Kingsbury is that it was a power dynamic that he didn't want to have to worry about with him communicating with Williams and, Cliff taking over that. So honestly, it doesn't make sense why they didn't hire Cliff Kingsbury.
I think they personally need to just clean house, get rid of Eberflus too. I'm calling for his head already now too. I think I mentioned it last week. Get rid of him. Commanders, what's the name? Cliff. The OC at the Ravens, the OC for the Ravens, the OC for Buffalo. Any of those guys, just get them in here. Get an offensive-minded coach. If you really want to go defense, and bring back Lovie Smith. I mean, but the defense is doing well. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, the defense has been holding up there under the bargain. It's just, again, we can't fucking score, and it's ridiculous. It's like Matt Nagy 2.0.
Yeah, yeah. It's not good. I mean, they made the right call, right? They got rid of him. They're going to try something else. But let's be honest, I think the end result is going to be Eberflus is going to be gone. He's proven he can't choose the right coaches to put his team in position. I also read something like some of your guys' top players literally had to go to Waldron and say, look, we want to be coached. We need to be coached. Don't be afraid to coach us. Just because we're veterans and we've been around doesn't mean you can't coach us. Like, we're pros for a reason. We want to continuously get better. We want to be coached and coached correctly.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't see guys like I fucking forgot his name now, but with the Patriots going easy on guys just because they're fucking veterans. Like, no, he's a hard coach. He's an asshole, but he's the coach that coaches you to championships. Like, none of those guys are soft, and Waldron and these guys he's bringing in are just they're soft. There's not, and that starts with the mindset of the head coach. If your head coach is soft, he's going to bring in soft coaches because they fit what he wants to do, and that's just proven over and over with his coaches. He's got to go.
Yeah, I agree. People were talking about Ryan Poles leaving or getting him out of the organization. I give him a benefit of the doubt. So far, the drafting and what he's done, like on the defense and stuff, like he's been doing pretty well. But I mean, the coaching just on the offensive side is just ridiculous. It's hard. We had so much potential. We were thinking we're going to Super Bears, baby, and now we're fucking the Super Toilet Bowl. I mean, we're just not there.
Super bums.
Yeah, super bums. I mean, we're lucky if we're going to win another game next couple of weeks because, wow, do we have a hard schedule?
Yeah, it's going to be a rough schedule.
There's some buddies of mine going to the game this weekend for the Packers-Bears game, and I'm like, man, I'd like to go. Originally, I wanted to go and stuff like that, and I was even thinking about like trying to maybe buy my own ticket and go, tag along, whatever. But now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I want to spend that much money to watch them get their fucking ass whooped. Like, that bad, knowing it's going to come. Like, I know they're going to lose. They're not going to win this next upcoming game. There's no way. There's just no way. I don't know. It's just...
Yeah, I mean, when they can't put up more than, 3 points? 3 points on the Patriots and 6 points on last week. It's not going to do the job. You can't.
No.
It's not it. And it's not as if you guys are getting ran up on points, right? Like, Patriots only had 19 points. They held them, decent points.
We can't even get a first down.
Right. Like, that's just, it's bad. Bad.
Yeah. Fucking horrible.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking as bad as that, and we can segue directly to the other shitty ass team of mine and the Cowboys, who are just, they're trash. They're trash. It's funny hearing all this hype and talk about like, Cooper Rush He's proven he has this record of 5-1 as a starter. He can handle this offense, yada, yada, yada. And what happened? He did absolutely nothing. I had no high hopes for this guy. He threw for 45 yards. 45 yards on 13 completions.
Yeah.
45 yards. Like, that's horrible. Horrible. And I don't know if that's I don't know. I don't know what it was. I didn't even watch the game. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had my TV on Red Zone. I wasn't watching the game. Every single time it popped up, I kind of just wanted to put my head down and be like, I don't want to watch them play. Take them off the screen, please, because it's bad.
Dude, between both your guys' quarterbacks, you guys had a Bo Nix game.
Yeah, we had 66 yards between two quarterbacks. Trey Lance came in, I think, in the fourth quarter. I didn't even know he played. My son Ryan had to tell me, did you see Trey Lance played? And I was like, no, I didn't, because I wasn't watching the game, but he did. He came in and he had like 4 completions in the fourth quarter for like 20-something yards.
I watched
an interception.
I watched a couple of those Cooper Rush plays like in the beginning, and the guy was just like throwing them out like lucky. Like, what's that mystery box game that we used to play where you throw it up in the air and just 100 and you just call a number or whatever? That's how I felt like when he was throwing the ball. It was wild to see.
It was bad. It was bad. Honestly, I feel bad for anybody who has Cowboys fucking players now, because it doesn't even look like we have a competent enough QB to throw to CeeDee Lamb or Jake Ferguson or anybody on our offense that you may have for fantasy. It's bad shit. I would be trying to trade those players away as soon as they have one decent game, or actually I think for fantasy the trade deadline's this week, but I would be trying to trade them away because they're just duds at this point. They're duds.
Yeah, I dropped Zeke finally. I was holding him for a little bit, and
don't even get me started.
I just dropped his ass. So like, fuck it. If he does better, then oh well. I'm tired of just
Zeke got benched. This is the one thing I did see is Zeke got benched last week because of some bullshit. He wasn't showing up to practices. Who knows why? He didn't get to play last week game. He comes back this week, and on his first carry, you know what he does on the goal on the goal line? It's fumble the fucking ball into the end zone for the Eagles to recover. So the one thing I'm like, oh cool, I'm gonna at least get to see him score a touchdown. And I think this was like the game wasn't in. I think it was in the second quarter, so it was still like wasn't anywhere near a blowout yet. I'm almost positive it was like 7-3, and the Cowboys would have taken the lead on it. Yeah. No, he fumbles the fucking ball into the end zone and the Eagles. And it was like, oh, no, I'm definitely not watching any more of this game because it's just a wash. They're horrible.
I did see that Trayvon Diggs interception. That was pretty nice. I mean, they had that one great play, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, Trayvon Diggs is a great player. I don't know. Mike McCarthy needs to fucking get fired. I'm done with the guy. Jerry Jones needs to man up and make a change, because he's going to start losing the locker room and start losing some of these guys. Because when you're playing for a Cowboys team and you're hyped up so much around a Super Bowl and all these things, and you have these expectations that they continuously have, and you have the players that they have, he needs to make a change. He needs to fire Mike McCarthy and do the right thing. At this point, everybody and their mom knows Mike McCarthy is not coming back next year. This is his final year in his contract as the head coach. Why continue down this route and have this guy on an already shitty season? Like, bring something fresh and give somebody else the chance to just carry them the rest of the year until you have a new head coach and potentially a whole new coaching staff come in.
Just like you with Jerry Jones, our owner is old and senile as well. Guess the age, total age, over under 120 years old.
Under 120.
Or no, over for both of them. That's actually a dumb question now that I think about it. Over 100, over under 150 between the both of them.
I mean, the way you put it, I'm going to say over 150. But the fact that I actually know that one of them's 102 doesn't help.
Damn it. Okay. It's 182 years between both of them.
That's wild.
That's crazy, bro.
I mean, the good thing is they're not running the team, right? They're not the ones running the team.
Well,
They can't be.
Virginia, I'm not sure how much input she has. I mean, I believe her children are part of it, but I'm pretty sure Jerry Jones is, he's taking care of the curtains up, or the lack of curtains on top of the stadium.
Yeah, the lack of curtains. Oh my god, that shit was so. Honestly, that's just like. I get both sides of that stupid shit, right? CeeDee Lamb complaining about the curtains and whining, like first of all, shut up and fucking catch the ball. Shut up and catch the ball. I don't care if you had the sun in your eyes. Like half the stadiums in the NFL are outdoors. There is nothing to block the sun. So you telling me that you can't catch the ball in all of those stadiums because the sun's in your eyes? Like, man up and catch the ball. Don't fucking make excuses. That's all it is. It's an excuse.
Yeah.
It's an excuse. Does the sun affect sometimes? Yeah, sure. But do half the teams in the NFL do it on a regular basis? Yes. So why can't you? The other part of it is Jerry Jones, as the owner, look, home field advantage is supposed to be home field advantage, right? Yes, he made up some bullshit that it's an advantage to us because they have to deal with it. Yes, but if your players are having to deal with it too, and they're the ones that are on the shit end of the stick of it, then shut up and fucking just put curtains and give them what they want so that's not an issue. You know what I mean? Like, give yourself home field advantage. Stop trying to it's not about making it a disadvantage to the others. It's about giving your players the biggest advantage they have when they play at home.
Dude,
so
the Bears don't have any home field advantage. We have the worst field conditions ever because of the park district that runs our stadium. We have potholes basically at the 50-yard line.
Right.
We don't have a roof, and if it snows and it's very windy all the time, so it's like we're shit out of luck. We're basically playing a neutral every damn game, every home game.
And that's the type of shit where it's like. That's the type of shit that gives people ammo to talk shit on the Cowboys. Makes them look like fucking pansies because of the fact they're complaining about, oh, we have sun in our eyes. Motherfucking Bills and some of these guys are playing in snow. They're playing in rain, hailing down with crazy wind. Sun in your eyes? Shut the fuck up, catch the ball and be better. Like that type of shit is it just gets me, it tilts me. It's annoying as fuck.
That's funny as hell. All right, so I was thinking this week, unless you have some games that you really want to talk about, we can talk about the games that we chose, and then for the Super Contest, that's okay with you, or if you have actual specific games you want to touch on.
I mean, I think we have to touch on one specific game.
Yeah, go for it.
The Bengals-Ravens game on Thursday night.
Oh, that was a great game. I mean, we recorded last week on the same night, so I mean, we kind of touched on it.
Oh, yeah, that was a great game, man.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Yeah, that I forgot that we did touch on it last week. So, yeah, Jamar Chase went off. That was a great game. There was actually a lot of really good games this week. Kickers were...
my man Cruz let me down, and the Falcons of my fantasy football, man, he let me down, bro. I think he missed 3 of them, I believe. And
yeah, there was a lot of kickers who missed some field goals, but then the kickers also won the games for quite a few people. So it was like a big up and down week for kickers,
bro. And then Kansas City coming back again, like always figuring out how to win. Like
Kansas City came back and won. How about the Lions? The Lions.
You know what's funny is I turned that game off because I thought the Lions were going to lose, and I didn't watch any of it till the following day when I was looking at the ESPN. I had realized they won. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
So I didn't watch the end of it.
I had a weird suspicion because I was like, at a certain point, the Lions they were playing horrible, right? But the Texans weren't taking advantage of anything. And they were getting stopped. It was like the Lions defense just stepped up and started shutting them down. So I had a weird feeling that they were going to come back because of, all those mistakes. The Texans just didn't take advantage of them. And the Lions are just that type of team. They never give up. They never give up, man. I think that's just all the years of losing, that's just the mentality that the Lions have. Like, they just never give up. And they kept fighting. And sure enough, they win it by a field goal.
What's his name? Jared Goff had 5 interceptions, right?
Yeah, 5 interceptions.
Yeah, 5 interceptions, 2 touchdowns for 240 yards.
And the other funny thing is the kicker for the Lions was dropped by the Texans last year, and now
Jake
he's
Bates.
Jake Bates. So he was actually with the Texans, got dropped by the Texans. So I think that was like a revenge game for him because he kicked
58-yard field goal.
exactly, and their kicker missed. The Texans kicker missed a 58-yard field goal.
Battle of
So
kickers, bro. But the battle of kickers.
it was a bit, man.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching this game. I think it was probably about halftime or so. I shut it off because I thought they were going to win.
Yeah.
I just kind
And
of
then
stopped watching.
Jake Moody of the Niners, he missed 3 field goals as well. He missed 3 field goals, and he actually got into an argument. The kicker and the snapper got into an
Yeah.
argument with Deebo Samuel.
Oh yeah, and he choked him out, or like
Yeah, he didn't choke him out, but he kind of like pushed. Yeah, it's I think that I think it was just a lot of emotion, and I'd be pissed off too.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed off too if your kicker missed 3 field goals. Like 1 is not cool, 2 is unacceptable, 3 is like what the is going on?
Right. Another game that caught my eye was the Cardinals Jets game. Just because the Jets, I mean, kind of like the Bears, like what in the fuck is happening here? I mean, obviously the Jets have a substantially much better quarterback. I would think, if you're gauging 1-on-1, 1v1, but I mean, the Jets just looked like straight trash.
Yeah, they did. They did. But I will say the one thing I remember from that game, besides them getting their ass beat, is their defensive end, or maybe it was the linebacker coming off the edge. He loaded up and just, I mean, I don't know how, what's his name didn't come out of this game, Kyler Murray, because he got demolished. I'll have to send you the clip if you see it. Like he hit him so hard, blindside hit from the back.
Yeah,
where Kyler Murray's helmet came off and just slammed into the floor. But he popped back up, man. He popped back up and kept playing. Didn't come out of the game whatsoever. I mean, it was a nasty hit. It stuck out in my head really bad.
He looked pretty good, man. I mean, I was watching that rushing touchdown that he had. I mean, he was like, at that point in time in the game, he only had like 2 missed passes or 2 missed completions or something like that. I think he actually broke a record within the franchise with this game of like most completed passes or completions.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
They're leading that division right now.
I said we would skip going through the schedule, but now that I'm thinking about, there's another game that I want to talk about.
Just a bad week to do that, I guess, because there was a lot of good stuff to talk about.
Steelers and Commanders.
That
came down to the wire.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a good game. That was a pretty fucking good game. Russell Wilson, I think he's undefeated, or he has a clean record with the Steelers so far.
Oh, is he? I didn't even think. Yeah, I guess so. Huh?
So I mean, maybe they did make the right choice of going without Justin Fields.
I agree. I think Russell Wilson just has a better command of that offense. Gives them a better chance. I think he operates that offense how it's intended to. I think they tried to do some things with Justin Fields and work around his specialties, but Russell Wilson just commands that offense better than Justin Fields will, because it's just the way that offense is run.
Another game that I can kind of think of. I didn't really watch this game, so maybe you did. Was the 49ers Buccaneers game?
I didn't watch it.
Okay, so he only had 39 yards, but I mean, what's his name? Jordan Mason didn't do shit either because I have him in fantasy. So I was kind of peeping it on through my phone, but he only had 5 yards, but they ended up winning. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, that's the one that the 49ers, they were actually losing. They came back, they were, because they missed 3 field goals. And they came back, they won it in the fourth quarter with the kick also.
All right, let me share my screen real quick. We're going to go to this. Bada bing, bada boom. This will be fun to edit later. All right. So, last week we had 2 correct. Bills versus Colts. The Bills versus Colts, I believe they beat them by 10, 30-20. So yeah. I mean, Colts are playing with Joe Flacco right now. He
Yeah,
threw
Flacco didn't look good.
3 interceptions, but then again, Josh Allen threw 2 interceptions. So I mean, it doesn't seem like it was that great of a game. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch much of this game at all. If it was on Red Zone or if it was between I was napping, I wasn't watching it.
I was gonna say you just thought as you were napping, so you didn't watch a lot of it.
Yeah. Dude, I find that Sundays are like especially during the NFL. I don't know if it's the fall season or obviously with the winter coming up, but I don't know. I just find it that it's so relaxing to take a nap. Like I can't take a nap in the summer. Maybe it's because it's too fucking hot, or I don't know. I mean, I don't keep my house hot, but still, for whatever reason, once the NFL is on, maybe it's that guy's voice on Red Zone that puts me to sleep. You know how like the white noise for babies. Maybe I need Scott Hansen's voice to put me to sleep.
Scott Hansen start a podcast or meditation app, so that way you can start putting people to sleep.
Oh shit! Vikings Jags. I know the Vikings won this game, but they didn't cover. Unfortunately.
Yeah, that was a horrible game. They played bad. They only put up like 12 points. It was a really ugly game.
Washington Steelers. I think we had Washington minus 2 or something like that. So
2.5. Yeah.
My pick, Eagles, Cowboys. My pick came through, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. I think this was your pick, the Lions and Texans. Or what was it?
Yeah.
Lions and Texans.
Threw up 5. If he maybe didn't throw 2 of those picks that we might have covered, but no, he decided to throw 5 interceptions, which is insane.
All right, let's go right into week 11. It's crazy. It's week 11 already.
What rank are we? Just out of curiosity.
We're 3,697.
Out of how many?
I'm not sure. Probably 3,698.
I just want to know how many people are doing worse than us. Like, obviously, we're not doing great, but it'll make we'll feel better about ourselves knowing how many people are doing worse than us.
My entries. Let's see if I can find it. Hold on. $3,697 out of. It only shows a top 100, I believe.
Oh, well, we're definitely not in there. So
we have 17. Top person has 39.
Wow, we suck.
All right, but we can come back right now. Let's go. We can get
hold on. It says entry what? Entry 999,732.
752. So maybe over 10,000 or 100,000 people. I don't know.
We'll go with that. It's 100,000 people. So we're 3,000 out of 100,000 people. I mean, we're doing all right.
We're doing
30? All right. Let's go, 30%. Baby. We're top. We'll take that.
All right. Week 11.
That's for all our haters. All our haters that think we're horrible.
Commanders at Eagles. Eagles minus 3.5.
It's gonna be a good game.
Good game. I would have to lean towards Eagles.
It's hard for me to say that. My heart tells me Commanders, but I might have to agree. I think the Eagles might be a little bit better at this point.
Jags at Lions. Lions minus 12.5.
That's insane. But maybe feasible because the Jags are bad.
Jags had Mac Jones he threw for 111 yards for two interceptions. I don't know. They're 2-8.
Is Detroit at home?
Detroit is at home.
Detroit always plays better at home.
Yeah, it has with 12.5, 2 touchdowns, I would say yes.
Yeah, they always play better at home. Let's come back to it.
Green Bay at Bears. Bears plus 6. At this point, I'm going Packers minus 6.
That's how I felt going with last week against the Cowboys.
Give me the Pack minus 6.
I was all on board with you taking the Eagles because it was guaranteed. I'm comfortable with that. If you want to take the Packers,
all right, let's do it. God, I feel horrible picking the Packers, but they suck. Browns at Saints. Saints minus 1.
I don't know. Let's leave that one.
Browns are 2-7. them.
They're both bad. The Browns show up sometimes. And sometimes
They just beat the Ravens. They're bad.
the Saints had a good game this week, and the week before they lost to the Panthers. So it's like I can't decide who they want to be.
Yeah. Rams at Patriots. Rams -5. Rams didn't look too good this past week.
No, they didn't play their best game for sure.
Matthew Stafford 293 yards for 1 touchdown. Kyron Williams 62 yards.
They couldn't get in the end zone. But granted, the Dolphins actually do have a pretty good secondary. They have Jalen Ramsey. They do have some decent, pieces.
Wasn't he traded from the Rams too?
Yes, I believe so.
So it was like a comeback revenge game for him too.
Maybe in a sense, but he's been there for a few years. So,
Ravens at Steelers. Ravens -3. Man, I think the winner of this game is the divisional leader. Is that right?
I don't know. I think that technically the Steelers have the lead right now based on the fact that they have had their bye week, so they're 7-2. So they have a higher win percentage because the Ravens are 7-3. So yeah, I guess so. If whoever wins it would be the first place.
Tough game. It's gonna be a good game, but it's a tough game. Vikings at Texans. Vikings -6. I mean, there's no way you can bet. No way you can take the points with the Titans. I mean, are you gonna really put your faith into Will Levis?
Yeah, and the Vikings have a good defense. The Titans did play better this week, but the Vikings do have a good defense.
And Justin Herbert's been playing pretty fucking good this year.
Herbert plays for the Chargers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at this fucking. I'm looking at my third screen right here. It was the Chargers.
It's Sam Darnold.
My
Sam
bad.
Darnold.
My bad. I was looking at my third screen. It was looking at the Chargers because they just played the Titans.
That's funny.
Sam Darnold though, he hasn't been playing too well. I mean, they scored 14 points last game.
They did 12. They scored
12.
12 against the Jags.
It's another close one. I don't know. I'd have to lean Vikings, but +6.
Yeah.
I don't know. Raiders, Dolphins -7.5. It's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points, but I think I think the Dolphins will cover that. I think the Dolphins will cover that. The Raiders they don't have a lot going on, and the Dolphins are just a better team.
I mean, Gardner Minshew, you don't like any of that? Is it
Gardner Minshew or is it Aiden whatever O'Connell? Who's he throwing to? Who's their running back? I mean, I know who they are, but they're just there's not a lot of good pieces there.
I mean, they put up 24 points this past game.
I don't know. They're playing the Broncos. Who that were they playing?
The Bengals.
Yeah, the Bengals let everybody score on them.
I get your point. All right. Well, I'm not gonna put that as my selection this week, so I don't care. Colts at Jets. I mean, the Jets look horrible. I would honestly probably fade them and take the Colts. I could see Joe Flacco doing a little razzle dazzle.
The way Joe Flacco played, I don't even know if it's going to be him. Honestly, I think that he's got to be due, right? They got to be due. The Jets have to be due.
Oh, you're playing it like roulette now. If it's black or red, if it's been black a couple times,
they gotta be due, man. They gotta be due, and the Colts are the ones that they do it on. The Colts are just not a great team. They gotta be due. To me, you gotta go Jets.
Okay. Seahawks, 49ers. 49ers -6.5. I don't know. Is DK Metcalf playing?
I believe so. Yeah.
Expected to practice Wednesday, 13 hours ago. It's maybe. Still a maybe. I don't know. It's a tough game, actually. How much are you going to get out of CMC?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. All right, I'm going to skip that one. Falcons at Broncos. No, I'm pretty sure you're probably going to go to Broncos here all day, aren't you?
No, I actually like the Falcons in that game.
Okay. So what game did you pick up Bo Nix for?
It was I picked him up for week 12 because my quarterback, Josh Allen, is out. That's the only reason why I picked him up.
Gotcha.
I don't even know if I'm going to stick with him. That's who I picked up just to have somebody on the bench in case.
Damn, I didn't realize this game was going too. Chiefs and Bills.
That's a good game.
It's a hell of a game.
I
Bills minus
honestly,
2.5.
I think the Bills give the Chiefs their first loss.
Bro, the way the Kansas City Chiefs.
I know, but the Bills are at home. You got Bills Mafia.
Bro, all you got is there's two things. You got Troy Aikman in the commentator booth, and you got the referees on the bottom.
Listen.
I mean, them two.
If you don't want it, that's my pick for the week.
Okay. I wouldn't. No, I would. I like the pick, but I wouldn't. That wouldn't be one of our three that we would agree on. No.
Okay, then lock it in for my pick because I think that the Bills are going to give the Chiefs their first loss. The Chiefs are not as good as a 9-0 record. I think they're the worst 9-0 team that there's ever been. I honestly think that they should be closer to 6-3, maybe 5-4. I think they just got unlucky. I think they've had some good calls go their way, and their luck's about to be run out in Buffalo.
Okay. Bengals at Chargers. Chargers minus 1.5.
I like the Bengals.
I don't know. It's like a toss up for me. They both score a lot of points.
The Chargers don't actually score a lot of points. They usually stick in the
Or I'm thinking about the Rams.
20.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
The Chargers actually have a really good defense this year, and that's what's keeping them in games. I think they're the highest turnover ratio team. They cause a lot of turnovers, and that's what's keeping them in the games is their defense. They don't really run, anybody over too bad. Occasionally, they might have a game where they put up a good amount of points, but they look at majority of their games. I think it's like low 20s that they score and winning, which means your defense is holding people, to 2 touchdowns or a touchdown game, something like that.
Final game: Texans at Cowboys. Texans minus 7.5.
Fuck. At this point, you take everybody against the Cowboys.
Can we agree on Texans 7.5?
That's a lot of points. I think there's better games than that, but I do think that the Texans win.
All right, let's agree on. Oh, we agreed on one actually. The Packers. I forgot about that.
Right.
Commanders at Eagles. AJ Brown's looking pretty good. I mean, he had some great catches this last game.
I like other games, but over that one, I think that one's more of a toss up than that.
What game piques your interest? Or games?
Well, I think the Rams beat the Patriots for 1. I think the Dolphins beat the Raiders 2.
Hold on. Rams, Patriots. Okay. Rams. Okay, and then what's the other one?
Dolphins, Patriots, or Dolphins over the Raiders.
I'll take the Rams. I like the Rams. All right, and then what was the other one?
I like the Jets over the Colts. I think they're due.
And you like the Falcons over the Broncos.
Yeah, which the Broncos are favored in that game by 2.5 points. So I kind of like the Falcons in that. I get the Broncos have a good secondary, but the Falcons are built on running, and I think that the Broncos can be ran on, and that their running game opens up things in the secondary with Mooney and London.
All right. What about? I don't know. I don't feel confident about the Bengals and Chargers. I'm gonna say no on that. Dolphins, Raiders. What about Vikings, Tennessee?
Um,
Or Ravens Steelers.
I'm good with going with Vikings against the Titans on that. The Titans do have a decent defense, and it worries me the fact that they played so shitty against the Jags and only put up 12 points. But I don't know. I didn't really watch a lot of the game to see why or what happened in that.
So you feel more confident about Tua than Sam Darnold, I'd assume, right?
Yeah, I
point.
think Tua and the Dolphins beat up the Raiders.
All right, I'll go with that. I like the Dolphins. And then for my pick,
You're gonna pick the Texans.
I mean, how can we not? But let me just double check. Let me just look at my. I'm not picking the Colts because they fucked me over last couple weeks ago, so they can screw off.
Here's the only thing with the Cowboys, and I don't think they're gonna win this game. I don't. But we're getting pieces back on our defense that have been outs, right? Micah Parsons just came back. I believe that DeMarcus Lawrence is about to come back. Deron Bland is about to be back. Those are key pieces on our defense that have been missing all year long. The Texans, I don't know if Nico Collins, he was a game time decision last week, so I'm assuming he's probably going to be back, which is obviously a big factor for the Texans. But they've looked very beatable over the last few weeks. Their defense is decent as well. So I don't know. They could demolish us like everybody else because we're at home and everybody beats us by 30 points at home. Or the Cowboys might keep it tight. It's just a toss up. I just don't think it's as dead set. You might think.
There's 10 games this week. There are 6 or less points. That's
Well,
crazy. I'm gonna go with the Eagles. 3.5.
Okay.
All right. Done with that. We're at 3,697th ranked. We're about to shoot up to about 1,000. Watch this
Let's
shit.
go.
Let's go. All right.
5 for 5. Let's go.
So we got busy sports week coming up, right? We got UFC. We got Mike Tyson, Jake Paul.
Ooh.
So let's get into that a little bit. Which one do you want to talk about first?
I'm good with either one.
All right, let's go with Jake Paul, Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Let me look at the current spread and what it is. And if you're not able to bet on it, then it's definitely rigged.
Right.
So, oh no, you can bet on it. I mean, you can bet on everything. So right now, Jake Paul is favored minus 218, which is wild to me. It is and it isn't. Obviously, we're all thinking about Mike Tyson back in the day, when he was younger, things like that. But Mike
He's
Tyson,
old.
I mean, I want to know how old he is. Really, he's 58 years old, so he's not 60. I thought he was 60 something, but he's only 50. He's 58.
So I just have a lot of questions about Tyson, right? It's one, does he have any cardio? When's the last time
he has 2 to 3 rounds on him?
When's the last time he's been hit?
Roy Jones, when him and Roy Jones fought, but they had headgear on.
Right. And I can't stand Jake Paul, right? I think he's a fucking atrocious boxer. I think he's just a joke in the game. I'll never take him seriously as a boxer, period. I think he's just a joke. But the one thing you can say about the guy is he can hit when he hits somebody. It looks like he hits pretty damn hard. So it's yeah, it's Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's been hit by some of the biggest dudes ever in the game, but when's the last time he took a punch like that? Granted, I think Tyson's gonna knock him the fuck out, and I would pay so much money to see it actually happen, because that's how much I just dislike Jake Paul and how much I think he makes boxing a joke, in my opinion.
Yeah. So in regular boxing, it's 12 rounds, 3-minute rounds, 12 3-minute rounds. In this fight, it's 8 rounds, 2 minutes each. So in total, it's 16 minutes versus 32. So it's essentially half the amount of time.
Right.
So I personally think maybe Mike Tyson's good for 3 or 4 good rounds. No, I'm sorry, 2 to 3 good rounds, real good rounds. And after that, he's gonna be fucking tired as hell. Like he's just gonna be tired.
He's gonna sit still.
So I think Jake Paul's plan is probably to like just weather out the storm in the first 2 rounds, and then after that, then start picking apart. But if if I do bet this, I don't know if I will. I'm not really sure. I've never bet on Jake Paul fights ever, but I do want to see his ass get knocked out. Right now is Mike Tyson's plus 160, but if you go Mike Tyson by KO, it's plus 250 because Mike Tyson by decision for going to 8 rounds at his age is just not.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
Dude,
So
put 10 on fucking that Mike Tyson by KO. Like,
yeah,
I hope he honestly what he does is he pins him in a corner and just mauls him in on the ropes and just catches him with a few uppercuts, right? A hook, whatever, close. You're right though. I think Jake Paul's gonna fight a pussy fight, and he's gonna run from him for the first 3 rounds and make Tyson chase him, and try to tire him out.
Yeah, and then the over under on the rounds right now is at 5.5. The over is slightly favored at minus 131. So the odds makers think it's going to go over 5.5, 6 rounds or so. So I don't know. I mean, when Jake Paul actually fought an actual boxer and not Tyson Fury, what's his brother's name?
Just say Fury. I forgot
Fury, I forgot his damn name. He actually lost the fight. So when he fights an actual boxer, he loses.
Right.
Obviously, Mike Tyson's at one point was one of the best in the world ever to do it. So I don't know. I mean, I think everybody wants Mike Tyson to knock this kid out.
Please knock his ass out.
Shut
him up.
Let's go to the UFC. The return of Jon Jones, baby. Let's fucking go. I need to put this on a goddamn shirt. I say let's fucking go all the time for everything. For everything.
Tony Tones World LFG.
Yeah, LFG. I should put that in the comment in the logo somewhere.
Just throw it on the back. Throw it on the back of the shirt. The emblem on the front, and on the back just a big LFG.
Yeah. I like that idea. All right, so let's just start. Let's go. Let's do like top 3 fights on the card. Because I'm pretty sure you probably don't know Mauricio Ruffy and James Lontop. Do you?
I don't.
Okay. Vivian Arjuo. I don't even know these people. Karina Silva. Nope. Silva.
But Bo Nickel.
Bo
Nickel. Boy, Bo Nickel.
Bo Nickel, Paul Craig. So Bo Nickel obviously is an American wrestler, Olympic athlete. Obviously, Paul Craig. He's not been doing great this last couple of fights. He's a guy that likes to. He does not like to stand up. He likes to lay on the floor and take his back, and then like have the guy come on to him. Pause. No diddy, but grab him and then try to do some shit on the floor.
Yo, I think you said that same line when you did this podcast. Like, I want to say like the second one we did, and that was a Paul Craig fight, and you said that same shit.
Yeah, and he did it probably. He probably did.
Yeah, he did. That's hilarious.
So I think this time around, I mean, Paul Craig's 36, and you're going against Bo Nickel, he's 28 years old, right in the beginning of his prime career. I mean, it's only his 7th fight, but I mean, he's outside the UFC, he's had just a great career. So, I mean, I'm taking Paul Craig by.
You're taking Paul Craig?
I'm sorry, I'm taking Bo Nickel by like submission or some shit. But
so the one thing I hope, right, is like I hope that Bo Nickel did his research and understands how this guy fights, and they're prepared for it, which I'm assuming they will be, right? But as a newer fighter to the UFC, in a sense, he has a 6-0 record. He might have a tendency to get frustrated by a guy like Paul Craig and make a mistake of fighting his game. He needs to stick to his game plan to win this fight. If he does that, I think he takes it without a problem. But if he makes a mistake and Paul Craig gets him to fight his fight, he might come out on top and catch him slipping.
One of the things that Bo Nickel was working on, that one of his things about him was he couldn't strike, so he's learning how to strike recently. So I would like to see him get the knockout. If he could get the knockout, if Paul Craig actually stands up and is there to actually throw some punches versus being on the floor the whole time, I would love to see the knockout.
Yeah,
but he's heavily favored in this fight at minus 1205. So if any of you guys like fucking Paul Craig for whatever crazy reason, go ahead and take it. The next main big fight is Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. It's a rematch back in the day. Charles Oliveira beat him back then, so it's a good little rematch for them. But it's gonna be. I'm not really sure who to pick on this card yet, or this fight yet.
I think Charles Oliveira is gonna beat him. I think he's gonna knock. I think he might actually submit him. I think he's gonna submit him in some crazy way. Oliveira it's just so fun to watch.
Yeah,
I love watching Oliveira fights.
Yeah,
I like watching
Michael Chandler when he does fight, when he's not fucking waiting for Conor McGregor for the last X amount of years,
Right.
But yeah,
he's a good fighter for sure. He's definitely a good fighter. I think if Charles Oliveira comes out and we see the Charles Oliveira that we know, the one that won the belts, that was just, that guy was unstoppable when he had the belt and he was fighting for that. We see that guy. I don't think Chandler has it for him.
I'm gonna be honest. I think I want to bet against you on this one.
Okay.
I think depending on your main fight pick, I think you're gonna take Oliveira by KO, or no submission. You said.
I think he submits him.
Okay. I think Chandler knocks him out. Ground and pound.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Oliveira has a chin. That guy does not really get knocked out. So the fact that you're saying he's gonna get knocked out is interesting because I don't know what his record is against getting knocked out, but I don't think he gets put down much.
I just have a feeling. And I also just watched the interview with Michael Chandler, and he had me inspired by his words.
Well, that's your first mistake. You're listening to him. You're done now. You just lost your money.
Now I'm trying to think Charles Oliveira has 10 losses.
Yeah.
He's definitely beatable, but so far it looks like much of them have been by submissions.
Well, he lost to Makhachev, which was a submission
in 2015. In 2015, he lost to Max Holloway by TKO.
Yeah,
TK in 2015. That's how long he's been in the game.
And he was not the same fighter back then.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course not. Yeah,
he lost to Felder by TKO too. That's probably during the Felder's prime.
It'll be a good fight though. Charles is 35. Chandler's 38.
He lost to Anthony Pettis during Pettis' prime. Like, he didn't lose to fucking
bums.
Scrubs.
Yeah. I just think that Chandler being out so long, I don't know. Maybe I really did get into his words. Maybe I'm just now I'm backtracking. No, hell no, I'm not backtracking. Michael Chandler by KO. Let's go. All right, last fight is Jon Jones, man. Fucking
the man, the myth, the legend.
Long awaited return.
What are the odds on this? I'm actually really curious because it's Jon Jones, the guy that has never lost.
Well, yeah.
Technically, he's never lost. No contest is not a loss.
John Jones is minus 725. God damn, I didn't realize it was that big of a favorite. Stipe is plus 450. John Jones by KO is plus 100.
The last time Stipe fought was in 2021 as well. And he lost to Francis Ngannou.
But isn't this John Jones's first time going up to what's it, heavyweight? Isn't this a heavyweight card?
It is heavyweight, and no, he fought at heavyweight. Didn't he fight at heavyweight before?
Let me see. I'm looking up the stats. For some reason, that's not coming up. Cyril Gane. Was that a... Oh, that was a heavyweight. That was a heavyweight. Yeah. Oh, I remember that. Cyril Gane thought... People were thinking Cyril Gane was going to beat John Jones because of just how big he was and shit like that. But
And that was his only fight at heavyweight.
Yeah. And then before
and here's the thing, too. Like, Stipe's... granted, John Jones has been out for a while, too, but it's John Jones. Stipe hasn't fought in how many years? So, like, how's his cardio going to be?
He's a fucking firefighter, bro.
Okay. Well, you don't fight for that long as a big guy like that. Like, I don't know.
Did he officially say it was his last fight?
I don't know. I don't think so. Not that I recall.
Stipe beat Oh no, he lost to Francis.
Yep.
Beat Daniel Cormier. God damn, he was fighting. His second to last fight was against Daniel Cormier.
Right.
That's wild. He's been on the commentating booth for a minute.
Right. It's some of my point is I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I think it's a good fight either way. I mean, even for John Jones, it's gonna be a little bit of a factor. He hasn't fought since 2023. It's been almost a year and a half since he fought. And I will say I don't think he looked amazing by any means against Cyril Gane, whatever it is. He did what he had to. I think he choked him out in that fight.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember exactly how it went.
Yeah,
but...
it did. He did choke him out. Guillotine.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. I think John Jones wins though. I do think John Jones wins. Honestly, it's how can you vote? How can you go against him?
You think it's going to be over or under 1.5 rounds?
Ooh.
Over 1.5 is favored at minus 174. Under is plus 125. So
I think it's gonna go over. I think it's gonna be a slow first round. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Like maybe like the second and a half round.
Yeah.
Something popping off once they feel each other out, once they get their...
Yeah, I could see a knockout in the third round or a submission in the third round. I could see John Jones taking him down in the third round and submitting him.
A draw is plus 2,500.
Oh yeah, but that's where people want to lose their money go for it.
Yeah. No, I think I agree with you. I don't know. I mean, I would love to say that it'd be a knockout, but I almost want to say it'd be a submission, but it doesn't look like... I mean, most of Stipe's fights have been TKOs or knockouts or decisions, but this one's not going to a decision.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see a submission just because, I mean, Stipe's pretty old too as well. I mean, how old is he? What is he? Born in 82? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, all of his losses, I think, were by TKO.
He's 42 versus 37-year-old. 42. I mean, if he gets tired, ground and pound, submitted, get him on his back, choke him out.
Yeah.
Maybe John Jones feels a little bit weird. He doesn't want to pummel the guy to death because he has respect for him. I don't know. Even though there was some.
It's John Jones, bro. He's gonna try to prove a point. That's why I think anybody who's betting under, under 1.5, they're betting John Jones is trying to make a point and prove to everybody, like, well, not that he really has anything to prove. He knows he's that guy, but I think he wants that fight against what's the light heavyweight belt holder? Pereira. I think he wants that fight. I think he wants to fight him.
He did mention that he wanted to fight. He would over Tom Aspinall. He would rather fight him.
And
I think there's more money in
that
too.
fight, right? Like 100%. He doesn't get that fight though if he doesn't fucking fight Miocic and beat his ass or win. So he's gonna prove a point. He wants to prove a point, and I think it's like he has to hype up that fight even more. I'm like, look, I'm still that guy.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, last thing I wanted to bring up, we both watched this show, which is called Penguin on HBO.
Penguin.
And kind of going off subject here, but man, this show is fucking pretty good. And I hear that I understand from my understanding is that the original thought behind this was they were going to make like this universe sort of thing for this Batman, like thing. But now they're rethinking it and making actual Penguin its own separate series now because of all the feedback it's been receiving and how well it's been
maybe doing. I don't know. I don't know the exact what the plan was originally, but where it originated, I think they're trying to follow a little bit of what Marvel did with, like, they have the main story, Batman being the main storyline, right? And then they have spin-offs of other characters, and they do like character build-ups with their own storylines through a TV series, and that's what they're doing with Penguin. Because if you watch that Batman, it's the one where the Riddler is the one terrorizing Batman, or not terrorizing Batman, but terrorizing Gotham. Penguin makes appearances in there, but like just as one of Falcone's henchmen type of thing.
Yeah.
And that's where you originally see him. And then the fact that they did this Penguin series, it's phenomenal. I love it. I'm fully from the first episode, and that's when I told you, I'm like, do you have to watch this? It's really good. I thoroughly enjoy it. I love it though. It's like one of the things is like there's usually in majority of these types of storylines, there's a good guy and there's a bad guy, and there's no good guy in this. Like, it's just you fall in love with the bad guy. Like, he's the guy in this storyline.
Actually, no, I would say the guy that you probably have some sort of feelings for, not in that way, but Victor.
Yeah, Victor.
The kid that obviously came from nothing, whatever, and then his family dies. I think the only criticism I would have is like his family died in that, like, whatever that flood was, whatever. In the beginning. That was kind of like pretty quick, and I didn't really understand how this flood just demolished the entire city. But whatever. I mean,
that was from Batman. So in the Batman movie, Riddler.
Which Batman movie? There's so many. I'm thinking of Batman with fucking it was the Riddler.
It was the most recent one. It was
the one. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
With the younger kid. Younger kid as Batman.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name. Robert Pattinson, whatever.
That's the one I did not. I watched a little bit of it, and I couldn't get over watching with Robert. I didn't like him being portrayed as the Batman.
Yeah, I mean but he's supposed to be a younger Batman, right? Like that's what it's supposed to portray him as. He's a younger Batman. It's him coming up, because this is all like it's almost like the origin story of all of the characters that we know, and it's their character buildup. So I get why he was it. It's a little. odd because he portrays the character different than we all know.
I feel like they were just forcing it.
Right. They want him to look like an emo looking type, I hate
Yeah.
myself type of, sad emo kid.
Yeah.
But that's not the same Bruce Wayne we know from every other one. Like they're all like, look at me, I'm this rich guy. I walk around with 2 girls under my arms type of Bruce Wayne. And he's the complete opposite. So I could see why you're a little.
I think the worst Batman, I mean, just before we go back to this Penguin, it was Ben Affleck. I mean,
yeah. I wasn't a huge fan of Ben Affleck as Batman. I mean, the guy, I'll give it to him. He put on some serious muscle to portray Batman the way he did. And he did, he did a decent job. It's just, I think because it's Ben Affleck is why we didn't like him. It wasn't how he did the job. It was just because it was Ben Affleck and he's not our Batman. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Throughout the series, I mean, the season finale just happened, so
don't drop any
I was gonna just start talking about it. I mean, it's happened.
You want to talk about it because the people listening to this and they haven't seen it.
All right.
And you tell them some of the stuff that happened. I mean, there's, especially in the very end, like, I don't know about you, but the scene in the end with
yes.
So I was like,
hold on, listen.
Way.
All right, if you guys are watching Batman and you don't want to be spoiled, Penguin, turn it off now. I appreciate you guys listening. Hit that follow button, hit the like button, comment, helps out the algorithm. I can't speak, but anyways, so when Penguin takes Victor at the end at the park and fucking chokes him out,
oh my
dude,
God.
I didn't know whether to like not scream, but like I didn't know what the fuck was happening.
Dude,
it was wild. I was not expecting that at all.
I wasn't either. I was so shocked, and I was like, "There's no shot that just happened," because that was like his guy. That was supposed to be his right hand, the one that he was going to groom and be this.
He was grooming him,
right? But then at the same time, if you think about Penguin's character, he's never had a henchman. He's never had a right hand. It was always him. The only person he ever had was this psycho ass mama.
Yeah.
That's the only person. So I get it. But at the same time, like, they put so much into building that character for him to just choke him out in the season finale. It's like, oh shit.
Victor had just gotten done telling him how much he meant to him and shit like that.
He was family.
That he was family. And then, I mean, I don't know if do you watch the total, like, after the credits where the directors talk about it?
I've watched some, but not all of them, and I didn't watch that one.
So in the finale, they were like, they basically stated like, anytime Penguin gets, basically he got rid of Victor because he was a soft spot for it going forward. Right. So that's, once I realized that and what they said, like, it made sense. But man, during when it was happening, I'm like, no, don't fucking kill this guy. He's actually becoming a crucial part of the storyline,
Right.
Like,
but they had harped on that. And when what's her name was looking for his weakness, when they were trying to find a weakness, they said he has no weaknesses, he has no family, he has nobody, he's just, and when they finally found it and with his mom, I think that was his determining factor. Like, look, they found my weakness, they exploited it with his mom. He can't risk having another weakness in Victor, and that's why he did it. So, like, I got it too. Like, I understood that watching through why he did it, but at the same time, it was like, fuck, they really did that. All I know is Colin Farrell has done the way he portrays, like, I don't know what it is about some of these actors when they find the right person to portray these characters, especially in the Batman series, like with the Joker and now Penguin and some of the other ones. Like, dude, he did a phenomenal job portraying that character. You literally, they have you fall in love with a notorious bad guy in the Penguin who, growing up as a Batman fan, you hated the Penguin. You hated him.
And then another crazy part of the last episode was when Sophia had put out that hit for them to get Penguin, and she was going to give all
Yeah.
the business to whomever got Penguin for her. And then all the people switched on her, and whatever. And then he drives her over to this place. I'm thinking in my head at the time when I'm watching, I'm like, oh, this guy's just going to blow her brains out and put her in the water. And
Yep.
then the cops come, obviously, and I'm like, oh yeah, it makes sense because he just had that conversation with whomever it was in the courthouse.
Yep.
So that was another great fucking, switcheroony they just did on me. So I was
Switcheroony.
I was very pleased by that. In the season, one of the great scenes I liked was when Sophia basically gassed her whole family.
Oh, dude, that was crazy. Yeah.
It
It was like, what is she doing? Why is she going to the green room? And then it was like, oh shit, she's about to.
So
kill
is
her
that a foreshadowing for Poison Ivy?
you know what? I kind of thought so. So that was my thought process with her, is that she was gonna come back as Poison Ivy.
Yeah,
I agree.
then-
I think that the other one is the doctor.
right. I couldn't keep. Yes, the doctor. I couldn't get him out of my head from Sons of Anarchy. Because he was in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
I kept thinking of Sons of Anarchy.
What was his name in Sons of Anarchy?
Let's
He was a
see.
badass in Sons of Anarchy too.
He was Juice.
Juice.
What a great
Yes.
series that was too.
Yes.
But yeah, no, yeah, he played the part pretty well as well. I mean, he has almost the same kind of demeanor that he had in Sons of Anarchy carried over to the Penguin, like that unsureness of that, like Juice was kind of very like hesitant, wanted to please people.
Yeah.
And he kind
He
of
turned himself into her bitch.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah. And then like the end of the finale, obviously at the ending scene, they had the Batman signal, the light. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Caught that?
But like I said, but that's a continuation. Technically, that Batman symbol is already a thing because this is a spinoff from Batman, and the Batman signal is in the Batman movie.
Maybe I have to watch. I think I'm gonna have to watch that Batman movie now again.
Yeah, I would just because it literally starts that story. The story starts there, and you'll see this exact Penguin in this movie, and how he looks, portrayed, everything. He looks the same way in the Batman movie. And this is just how once Maroni and all of them die or taken out, because it even has drops in the movie. It has all of that.
Yeah.
And it's like the Penguins rise to slowly rising into what he starts.
The scene where he's in the courthouse talking to that gentleman, I don't remember his name, about doing the plan of turning in Sophia, right?
Yep.
I couldn't help but think of Batman Returns when the Penguin's walking down the stairs, like when he's a politician, and I'm like, it just kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah, I mean, because he literally says it in there. He goes, "I want to be welcomed into these types of rooms, these types of courtrooms,
and you have to clean up."
Yeah. But remember, he starts wearing suits. He starts, Penguin's known for his suits and shit like that.
That's a hell of a walk he has too.
He did that walk really well. I'm saying that they did a crazy good job. I can't wait. I'm kind of mad. Oh, and the doctor's name is Hugo Strange.
Oh,
Hugo Strange is the doctor's name, and I'm pretty sure Theo Rossi, who is, I don't know his name. I forget his name.
His name in the Penguin is Julian Rush.
Okay, so Dr. Julian Rush. I have a feeling 100% he's going to end up being Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
100%. He just has that look to him that's going to end up being his character in the future playouts of these. I don't know. I love when they do these types of character builds and storylines on these, because it just,
they don't rush him.
It fits. Yeah, no, it's great. The other one is, and they did a completely different than this, and they bring people in, but Gotham. If you ever watch Gotham, there's like 5 seasons of it, and it's more centered on the
Bruce Wayne.
No, not Bruce Wayne. On the cop. What's the cop's name?
Oh, right. I forgot the name. I felt like that series was rushed towards the end.
They did. Towards the end, it kind of fell apart a little bit, but the first, like the
Detective Gordon.
Gordon, the Detective Gordon, it's more focused on his story, but all the characters they brought into that and everything in there, I think that was a really good one too. But you're right, towards the end, it was like they were trying to push
End
an
it.
ending,
Yeah.
and yeah, it kind of fell apart a little bit towards the end. But
They had so many storylines happening at once.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah,
it's a great watch.
this series just brought me like there's another scene where I'm thinking of when she had killed all her family, right? And then the day after she had went up to like the house or whatever, and one of the guys, John Vitti, was there and he told her to get
Oh,
dressed and told him to get dressed and put him like in this like basement, whatever.
yep,
And then the next like couple of scenes later, they were at the table. Like he was ready to move forward, like to be her like whatever side, her
yep.
main guy. And at the table, she was like, I goes by a different name now, blah blah blah. And then he was like he pushed back just a little bit, and then he just
Yep.
shot it. She shot his brains out right there and then. I'm like,
I
damn.
feel like that was her plan the whole entire time, though, to like,
Make a scene.
well, not just that, but like, because her point is like, we're moving on, out with the old and with the new family, yada yada yada.
Yeah,
And this
yeah.
guy still has. She was never going to let him have control. He was just a pawn that she could use to get her in contact with certain people, or a voice, because he had the voice that people knew.
Yeah.
So she had to take out that voice right in front of their faces and look, prove a point to them. So I think that was 100% her plan, which it was like, oh shit, like when it happened. But I do think that was her plan.
And the last one I want to bring up is the very end where Sophia receives that letter from her stepsister.
Oh yeah.
I can't, the name's blanking me right now. Shit. I can't remember the name. Sophia, no. Um, she
Like as
played,
another bad guy, or
she was in, it was in Gotham. She was in Gotham too. Um, Batman, let's see. She played the Catwoman in Batman, but her name was not Catwoman. Obviously, it was Selena Kyle.
Selena Kyle. So they actually, you have to watch the original Batman because they already portrayed a Selena Kyle in. Oh wait, oh you're right.
So at the
Because
end,
Selena Kyle is Carmine Falcone's daughter through it, but with a different mom.
So that's the girl that she saved with her at the greenhouse.
No.
No?
So in Batman, so look up the Batman movie. There's actually a girl in that movie that is Selena Kyle, and they portray her completely as Catwoman because she has cats, the strays. She has like she actually teams up with Batman a little bit, and in that one, she actually almost kills Carmine Falcone, or does she kill him? I think she does kill him. And she says in that one that she is his daughter. He hooked up with somebody at the club that they ran,
Mhm.
and yeah, she says I'm his daughter. So that would mean that she's her half sister because it's a different mom. So yeah.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it and just get over the Robert Patterson.
So I didn't think about that. But yeah, no, she is that ties it together. Her name was Zoe Kravitz. Just look up Batman cast.
So I want to know what happened. So the Gia girl, the one,
Oh, who she's going to be, who the daughter is going to be. Is that what
yeah,
you're trying to do? Oh,
in the
okay,
in the
okay.
greenhouse that she saved, that little girl. But she does go to the the ward, right? I have to
Yeah.
rewatch the series to see if there's
Well, no,
any
she's
like.
not in a mental ward. The daughter's not in a mental ward, or that girl's not in a mental ward. I think she's in like an orphanage.
Oh, okay. Um, but she's not talking at all or something like that. Like she doesn't talk when in the scene at all.
Yeah.
I have to rewatch it because I want to know maybe there's a clue or something of what her character is.
Who she's gonna be. Yeah.
Yeah. And the
Or maybe
greenhouse.
she's nobody and it's but it potential. But yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think that she ends up being Poison Ivy with the way
Yeah.
that had portrayed. There is a Catwoman already. Trying to think of other female villains from Batman that we can't think of.
I don't know. I can't remember.
What was the girl's name? What was her name?
Gia
Gia.
Falcone? But I don't.
Or maybe she ends up being because there is specifically a Sophia Falcone villain in the series. I'm looking at female Batman villains. I don't know. It'll be interesting. To see what happens and how it turns out. But
if you haven't watched it, go watch it. There's so many good scenes. I'm not going to tell you every single scene, but all the scenes from like Penguin and the other bosses killing, how they get killed and stuff like that. All the cliffhangers, all the total 180 that happened in the, there's multiple times where Penguin's about to die and somehow this guy just survives. So great show. And then in addition to this, we'll talk about Yellowstone at some point when you get caught up.
I'm on season 2. I'm on season 2.
Okay. So in a couple
I'm on
weeks,
season 2 where the brothers, the Beck brothers, who have now come into play and made their play on Yellowstone. So that's where I'm at right now. So that way, I would say I'll give me like 2 weeks. Maybe not next week, or maybe next week we check in where I'm at and we can have a conversation about, up to that point.
Yeah.
Maybe hard for you to remember all the way back to then, but we could probably do then. But yeah, I'm in season 2.
I would like it on the record though, as a avid Yellowstone watcher from day one, I do not like the way they killed.
Whoa!
It's in the news. There's a reason.
I don't watch the news.
Oh, I mean,
unless it's sports news, I don't watch it.
Gotcha.
Although I already know who you're gonna say because I saw your Instagram post and I'm like, why the hell did he post Jamie? Like, what the hell is he posting?
Oh.
I didn't understand it. I didn't ask you, but now that I watched it, I'm like, oh, something happened to fucking Jamie because
something outside of the show in real life. The actor didn't get along with the actual people of the crew, so somebody left, and the way they killed this character off, I do not agree with. That's my
that's shitty. I hate when they have to do that. If they get forced to do stupid shit like that.
Yeah,
that sucks. But yeah, I did know already something happened with Jamie, because of your damn Instagram post. I just didn't understand it until I watched it.
I will tell you, Jamie is still there. So
gotcha.
I didn't ruin it for you entirely, and I guess for everybody else, the millions of people that watch this show.
So it's probably like so Jamie finally gets a girlfriend or somebody that they kill off.
Jamie got the gun.
Jamie had a gun.
All right. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
The Tony Tones world.